Hey, welcome to week 3 in CIT28. As you know by now, maybe, I like to call this Intro to SQL because I feel like that better describes it. All right, so Brianna Rayburn, our tutor for this course, has sent you all messages, and I've put a link to information to get in touch with Brianna here, her intro, her email sessions, right? So just FYI, that is there. And again, we're trying just to help you like check into help because here's the deal. Get help wherever you need it. Now, what I've seen coming, I'm actually recording this in week 2, is that this is something I know as instructors we say, like do it before the due date. But in a class like this, there's an additional benefit. And I just want to be clear about this. The benefit you get is review. And in doing tech work, there are various things that can come up, right? And part of this, you're learning my workflow processes. So the Git workflow, and now we added last week the proof of work workflow. In the next couple of weeks, we'll add one more to kind of complete our process. And so not only are you learning SQL and how to write queries and how to navigate code space or local, you're learning a lot. In my opinion, you're learning a lot about just different types of environments and commands. So the sooner you work on something, if you're finding you're running into an issue, and several of you did in week 2, the sooner you can get help. So this is why you hear me starting to talk about Brianna's schedule, and then you can always find mine up here in Simple Syllabus, okay? Matter of fact, I've been thinking about just putting it there as well to make it simple. Okay. Anyway, let's come down here. So in week 2, the last thing that you had was for many of you, I think most of you, there's a couple of you who have taken my classes before and maybe taking some of my classes now in addition to this one. And you've heard me talk about these AI reviews that I have helped create with Rick Gomez, and Brianna's helping us now, is actually a system that allows us to create prompts that interacts with you, and we create the prompts based on the content that we're going over. And working with AI at this level is, it's true in the example that it's also fraught with different issues when you interact with it. So when we interact with it from a coding perspective, I'm really worked on, let me finish that thought, is that sometimes it's a little unexpected what it does, okay? But for the most part, the students who have actually completed this at this point, because again, I'm doing this in Wednesday of week 2, most students have gotten through it. Some students have had some challenges. One thing is that there is a time limit from the time you start it. You have 50 minutes to complete it. So, and I recommend taking it multiple times, right? And this will be true. You'll have another one coming in this week as well. So I'm prefacing that just to tell you, right, that we'll have it this week, but part of week 3, the first thing I'm going to have you do is actually, I've talked about the tutor, but your thoughts on the review, okay? So that will be when you come down to do your reply here, right? And I actually specify like how I want you to format it. So this is a heading 4, right? You can give it whatever heading text, right? Your heading text. By the way, if you're taking HTML, you would actually know how to drop down into this and do it, but we're going to select the text and then make it a heading 4. And then what you'll do is you'll write, right, your thoughts. Give us feedback, because like anything, user feedback is really important. And I do read all of it. And I actually read all your sessions. That's what I do. And I see, because my hope is that you're actually, maybe the first time you missed something, you took it again. But also that it lets you see how well you're translating the concepts. But how would I know without your feedback? Like any kind of customer product, your feedback is helpful. Now, you don't have to do this until you're all the way through. I'm just giving you the example. So the other thing we're going to do this week is we're actually going to have what I'm going to call a code works flow challenge, because Last week you got introduced to it. This week we're going to continue it, and so we're going to work on it more. And so what I wanted to do was give you a series of steps. And now I'm not going to go through these steps, okay? This is the idea of the challenge, is you are to go through and attempt this code setup workflow challenge, okay? And then I'm actually going to have you have a commit message. So I'm not going to go through it, but a little bit, I guess. And then you'll actually have an SQL challenge. So in addition to just setting things up, you'll also go through the SQL challenge, okay? And then once you've done all that, right, and again, specific detail about how I want things, because I am, a student said this semester, I am particular, because this type of skill, this type of field is very particular. Any kind of tech is, okay? All right, so get all the way through it, and then I tell you, right? So if you're successful, you would make a commit message, right? Because there actually is a code challenge here. So you'll have one commit here, you'll have another commit here, okay? And I give you the logic of how you would use the text. Now, heads up, do not watch the solution. Now, I say that, and how would I know you didn't watch the solution? I wouldn't. It's really, this is what I'm trying to help you do, which is actually see how well you can follow instruction, code something, right? Because this is what we want you to learn from this class. This is part of the reason of my technical interview, okay? So work all the way through it, right? And then when you're done, right, watch the solution. Right, and now you may say, I got it all. You got the, you know for a fact, because I actually have you do a commit message about what percentage, right, you are sure you got it, right? So, and don't just resist the idea of going out and Googling how to do it, because it's such a natural instinct, but resist it when you're trying to acquire the skills. Okay, so then you'll have one reply. So of course what I will do here is I will just look at, right, did you actually do this work? And even if you had to fix it, as long as you did the work, that's how I will grade that. And that's 40 points. So 40 points for your thoughts on the review, okay, and then 40 points from attempting this, okay. And again, if you didn't get it, you have a solution. Try to do it on your own. Now for that one, you'll have another heading text. You get to make it up, right? So in this case, I can tell I don't have it. See how that changes? So I could come here and I could say heading 4. Now I could hit an enter here, and notice what happens. It changes it to paragraph. So what you want to do is write in paragraph font, but you want a heading in there. It just makes it a little easier for us to see each other's work. Okay? Okay, so I'm not going to submit this one, but I'm just showing you what you need to do. Now, I do also have, and I'll just show you this, I did today look at the markup, markdown for the instruction, and I looked through the video, and I'm going to leave them. This is from last semester, the instruction. I still think it's good because actually I did something last week already, which is I gave you the ability to do the, I got this far, and and then you can complete the rest by Thursday. Now why this is important is it gives you a chance to try it. I will review it, but here's the deal: if you don't submit your commit history on the Monday night, which is this is due, you do lose some points. Okay, not as many as if you didn't submit it by Thursday night. So I think I've been taking off like 10 points if you didn't submit it Monday night, but I saw it by Thursday night. But again, benefit from the idea of a review of your work, and I will just go through and go, yeah, this looks good, or I'll give you some feedback. But remember, that's the idea here. And then hopefully soon, and again, I'm working on week 2. I will have that week 3 review, but that will probably come at the beginning of the week, and most of you are still going to be working through this. Okay, work ahead, reach out for help, don't get behind, and know that you got this. It's really learning is repetition. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more natural it becomes. All right, have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.